Recycling. Oh, you're recording me. Hi, I'm Adrienne Floreen, and today I'm going to show you what I bought at the farmer's market in Arcata, California. I did not buy this juice at the farmer's market, I just happened to be drinking it. Today I'm drinking some healthy orange juice. Orange juice is one of my favorite juices to drink because I'm allergic to apple juice. Now I'm going to show you what I bought at the farmer's market in Arcata, California. Now I put down my juice without the cat knocking it over. So I bought these olives, and as you can see, they're made in Humboldt County. These are very good olives. These are very small olives, and they're grown in Willow Creek, and they're kind of strange, but they're very good. And these are a certain type of olives that a lot of people haven't had. They're very, very, very salty black olives, but they're also very good. And I'm not sure if they have pits or not. I know these have pits. They look like they still have pits. They also look like they still have stems on a few of them. Anyway, the olives I bought. And then I've got something very interesting. There's a lady in Humboldt County who makes her own herbal teas, but the selling point, I think, is these cute little miniature clothespins that hold the tea bags closed.
Oh, what about your pickled beets?
Oh, my pickled beets. My pickled beets, they're still in the refrigerator.
Shall I follow you in?
No, let me show you my plants first.
Okay, sorry for interrupting.
Oh no! I got these. These are tomato plants, and these are actually grown by a lady who lives only a few blocks away from me, and she sells them at the farmer's market. As you can see, there are two different varieties of tomatoes. This one says beefsteak tomatoes, and this one says tomato taxi. This is the variety of tomatoes called taxi.
That's funny. I think my dad said that he was growing that kind.
Beefsteak tomatoes?
Yeah.
Beefsteak tomatoes are one of the most common variety of tomatoes. They produce like the big round red tomato. The taxi tomatoes produce a small greenish yellow tomato that never turns red. But smaller varieties of vegetables grow better in Humboldt County because we have a short growing season. Believe it or not, most people think that, because pot grows so well here that anything will grow so well here, but actually a lot of vegetables that produce like a large fruit, like a tomato, they need a longer growing season than we have here. So these are one of my favorite varieties of squash. These are called kusa squash, and they're a Middle Eastern variety. They're a squash that's similar to a zucchini. Let's go over to the tires.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to grow them in these tires. No.
Giant
It's a
snow?
potato.
Oh, potato.
Let me get the beets. Just go back to the front and I'll bring the beets out.
Okay.
This is a red chard that I grew. And I don't know if this one was grown from a plant that I bought or from seed, but as you can see, it's a red chard. And I eat this every day. I eat it in salads and I eat it in stir fries. Chard is much better if it's cooked, in my opinion. Can you see me?
Yes.
And this here is a regular white chard, and this grew from seed. There was a plant growing in one of these pots, and it went to seed, and the seeds fell, and one grew right here in my driveway, next to this dandelion, which is also edible. This cat is going crazy. Let me go get the beets so I can show them off to the camera.
You should also bring the jar of olives.
I couldn't find the kimchi, but I got the lemons. These are some preserved lemons. and they were made by the same person who makes the olives. They're used in Middle Eastern style cooking. This is something interesting that a lot of people don't know what this is, but I know what this is, and I'm going to use it in cooking. This is some pickled beets, and I've never had the pickled beets from these people, but I've had the homemade kimchi and homemade sauerkraut that they make, and they're both very good. Sorry, the sun's glaring me in the eye.
Oh, it's alright.
It's like,
yeah, I see the glare right there.
You see the glare right there? Look up. That's what's getting me in the eye. It's early in the growing season here, so a lot of the farmers don't have fresh vegetables yet, but they have preserved foods. Just pan down to the preserved foods. And then let me zoom in on those. Alright. I'm going to try to make like a series of videos about my like home gardening and stuff. So I've got some greens here that I harvested from my garden. Some of these are daikon radishes, and some of these are wild mustards that we pulled up whole. So we could also use their leaves. And as you can see, they're taking up my... What are you doing? Just record everything I'm doing. Record me feeding the cat, cleaning the stove, or just getting video footage. The other thing I don't like about the soap is that it leaves a film on your hands. Hey Bubba, do you need some cat food? This chair needs to go, it's blocking light. I think they only say the chorus like twice in this song, and that's why it's confusing. Why is my hand greasy like that? Was there grease on the can? Where is the grease from? The can doesn't even look greasy. Oh my gosh, there's grease all over this.
Oh, that's where I dropped the oil, maybe.
Oh!
I'm sorry. There was oil on the outside of the olive oil container, and then I was trying to pour it, and it just all fell on the floor.
I'm gonna wash my hands now. You don't have to report that part. See, they only say this twice. My hands are still all greasy.
Oh, no, it's some kind of animal.
Okay. I'm listening to music while I clean the stove. Well, I just wanted the stove to be clean for my video. I'm about to show you how to cook those greens that I harvested from my garden. So as you can see, I've chopped almost all of these greens, and I'm chopping the last of them right now. I'm going to need to have 2 pans for this. This is absolutely too much for 1 pan. I've got the greens all chopped here, and I've got 2 frying pans ready. 1 frying pan isn't enough because I've got so many greens. And the first step is to turn the frying pans on and get them warm. And over here, here's some lemongrass and yerba mate tea boiling. How long has this joint been sitting here?
A few days.
While I wait for the water to evaporate out of the pans, I'm going to smoke this joint.
Does it taste good?
Not really.
Tastes stale?
Yeah. Now, as you can see, I'm putting a generous amount of olive oil into each pan once the water has evaporated. I'm going to do my best to put half the greens into each pan. I was going to use coconut oil, but this time I'm using olive oil. I'm putting about half of the greens in each pan. And now I'm going to put some seasonings on them. I'm going to start with the dry seasonings. First, I'm going to grind a little bit of salt on them. Not too much because I'm going to put some salty sauces on them later. But just a little bit of salt on each one. And right now I'm using some Persian salt. And I'm going to add a little bit of this Hellfire seasoning. This is very hot pepper. And I'm going to break up just one of these Thai chilies into each dish. They're very spicy. It's okay. And then I'm going to add a little bit of fish sauce and put the lid on. And it cooks for about 5 minutes with the lid on. Now I've added some water and cooked these greens for about 20 minutes. They're cooked right now. They have about the consistency of cooked spinach, and they're ready to eat. I like to eat mine with a fried egg and a cup of tea.
How is it, Adrienne?
Delicious. Video